everyone, and welcome to AskPolymathGeddy, your polymathic source for all information, knowledge, and wisdom. We have a question here. It's from Alan in Chile. Hello, Alan. How's it going? Way out there. Thanks for your question. His question is, why do you think we have such systemic failure? I.e., the educational system doesn't educate, the health system is not built around health, and the justice system is so unjust. Do you think there is a hidden master, and what are your views around who rules the world? So basically, it's a deep question about all the problems of the world and why the systems that mankind creates fail at accomplishing the main goal that they were designed to create. That's basically what the question is in a nutshell. And I can give you a really long answer. I can talk for weeks on this subject and barely scratch the surface. So let me cut to the basic nature of this problem and the very element of what enabled it to be a problem. Now, you have to understand, the educational system, the justice system, the healthcare system, and so forth, these were designed by human beings that come together in these assemblies, have discussions, talk about what they think problems are and what they think solutions are, decide, okay, well, since we all agree that this is a problem, let's create this solution. So they create the solution and then put it into play and put people in control over that solution, regulate it, create laws to promote it and enforce it, and then over time you watch it crumble to the ground. Why is that? And I'll explain it to you, and this is why. It's because they're using the wrong incentives to go about handling these problems. You have to understand that if the educational system was designed to educate, it would not be in the business of making money. It would not be in the business of keeping everyone at a low common denominator. It would not be in the business of indoctrination and brainwashing. It would be in the business of allowing human beings to reach their educational potential, finding the calling that each human being has in life, and nurturing that so that they can evolve themselves and make themselves the greatest contribution to the world that they can be. Of course, you want everyone to have basic knowledge on all subjects. It's just better for everyone. But certain people have a really high propensity for example, math, and very low for reading and literature. Others are great with science, but not so great with history and statistics and so forth. So you have to understand that certain people have weaknesses and strengths, and just because someone is not necessarily good at one subject doesn't mean they should be great at another. But you do hope that they have a fairly good balance. You strive for balance. That's the idea. But the problem is the people who create these educational systems are not doing so for the love of the people and for the education of the people. They're trying to hold everyone down and keep them dumbed down so that they remain serving the system. So you have to understand that the medical system, the healthcare system, is designed the same way. Pharmaceutical companies come in and they make money off of sick patients. If you're cured, they don't have you as a patient anymore. There goes their money. So money and greed and all these other negative incentives once again come into play and rob you of the very thing they said they were giving you. And it's kind of messed up, but that's the human race. We're a fallen world. Human beings are run by their lowest vices. The lowest vices in man seem to rise to the highest levels of power, and they rule. And unfortunately, you have people who either want to rule or be ruled. And you don't really have many people who want to do neither. The Howard Rorks of this world, who say, I neither want to rule nor be ruled. I just want my freedom to make my decisions and do according to what I believe is best for me and hopefully best for others around me. You know, that's what we need in this world. We don't need people who are willing to be victims. We don't need people who are willing to be rulers and authoritarians either. We need people who are just willing to be independent individuals who think for themselves and carry out their agenda appropriately and make sure they're socially responsible. But unfortunately, we have too many greedy people at the top of systems, and too much corruption has corroded the systems that intertwine. And the reason a lot of these systems fail isn't just because greed and all the wrong incentives have created these systems, but it's because government is created to protect these systems and hold them firmly in power. So if the government is doing something and it's failing, and the free market rises and says, hey, we have a solution. We can do it better this way. It's cheaper and it's voluntary. The government says, no, no, no. Get out of here. We can't have that. We want people to think we're the source. We're the only way it can get done. And we need to make laws so that all these private companies fail, so that we're the only bet in town. We're the only source. You have to come to us. And then when we fail, we'll pat some people on the back and say, don't worry, you did a good job, and we'll give you a reward anyway. But everyone's failing around us, and that's why America is declining in education in all subjects, pretty much. And most of the geniuses that we have in this country are imported, for crying out loud. So what does that tell you? That tells you that we're not nurturing talent here. We're not building intelligence and inventiveness here. And I know you're from Chile, but apparently you have a lot of insight, because just to even ask that question, you have to have a certain amount of understanding on how these things work and how they're failing. As far as the justice system, once again, it's compromised. You know, prisons make money off of prisoners. Doctors make money off of sick patients. The educational system makes money off of students who fail or move very, very slowly up the ranks. And so potential of the student, potential of the sick patient, potential of the person going to court, the defendant, is not really high in value to the system. The system wants that prisoner to go to jail and do time for pretty much nothing. The system wants sick patients to keep taking pharmaceutical drugs and remain sick. The system wants students to just barely pass and to not have critical thinking skills, so they can grow up and fit a system that is structured around dominance and milking them for their abilities and talents without giving them the option of thinking for themselves or feeling like they have any real power in the world. So the main reason that these systems fail is because there's people who've come to create them have the wrong incentives. They want power more so than to do good, and they create government to protect their power. So not only do they have the power, but they also have government to protect their power so that other companies can't rise up and knock them out. And that's all corrupt. And as long as we remain in the dark in this, we'll continue to have broken educational systems, broken justice systems, and a failed medical healthcare system and so forth. It's just how it works. You know, as long as you have people who have the wrong incentives, and you have government controlling these companies and allow these wrong incentives to thrive, you're not going to ever have a solution. So you need to have a society that is awakened to the problem, first of all, like you are, and then you need a society who, once they understand that these things are failing, know the reason why. It's because government is controlling the system, and the system is not designed to have you reach your better self, to help you advance to the next level of whatever it is you need. If you're sick, to help you become cured. If you're uneducated, to help you learn and become more evolved as a human being and more educated, so you can extend yourself into the world and accomplish great things. Or if you are a person who is wrongly charged, for example, the system needs you to fill their jail cell so they can make money off of it. It's all a matter of money and power and greed and control. So once we understand what the system is about and how it was contrived to begin with and how it's protected, we can understand what we can do to solve that problem. We need to legalize competition so that government isn't the only game in town. If we can legalize competition, it will make everything different. Everything will have to achieve a certain level of excellence to remain intact. Otherwise, competition says, we're better, our prices are better, our service is better, you're done, goodbye. The free market wants better products and services for lower prices. It's just common sense, which is kind of good because it encourages people to constantly improve on themselves and provide better services and products at better prices. So that's really what we need. We need a society that comes together and holds their government accountable, holds the systems of control accountable, and does not have government thugs like police or so forth, military, to protect government from ever being competed with. Because as long as government is in control of these things, as long as they regulate everything, control everything firmly, they can keep failing us and get away with it. So we need to have open market or free market with competition. As long as there's competition, government fails, free market succeeds, government goes away. But if you just have government and free market comes in and says, hey, we want to compete, Government says, there's laws, we can't let you do that, knock you down, knock you down, knock you down. We'll send our government thugs after you, we're going to confiscate your business, we're going to take away your assets, we're going to tax you and throw you in jail, and you're out of here. So that's what we have right now. We don't have a fair system. The government is controlling everything and ruining everything. Why? Because people in government who serve want to be rulers more than they want to be servants. And the only way they can keep their power is if they set systems within that power to protect them from ever losing that power. It's really messed up. So we need to really realize what the problem is and go for a solution. And hopefully I answered your question. If you have any other questions, send them to AskPolymathGeddy@gmail.com, or you can send it directly to this YouTube account. Send it through email. Make sure you include your name, location, and a very small summary of your question. Basically your question with some background information so I know what you're talking about. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care.